Let's be real for a second. Life is not all rainbows and sunshine. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either lying, selling something, or deeply disconnected from reality. Bad things happen, people betray you, systems fail, dreams die, loved ones leave, your body ages, the world keeps spinning in directions that don't make sense. And you've been told your whole life that everything happens for a reason, that if you just need to think positive, that if you just manifest hard enough, the universe will give you what you want. You've been fed a comfortable lie, and it's a lie that leaves you feeling broken when life doesn't cooperate with your positivity. But here's the other side of the coin: believing that the world is just a nasty place, that everyone is out to get you, that nothing matters, that hope is for fools. That's also a lie. It's a defense mechanism. It's easier to expect the worst than to be disappointed. It's safer to assume everyone will hurt you than to risk being vulnerable. Both extremes are bullshit, and neither one will set you free. So let's break it down. The problem with toxic positivity. Toxic positivity tells you to smile through the pain, to find the silver lining when you're drowning, to say it could be worse when you're already at your limit. It it invalidates your real human emotions. It makes you feel guilty for being sad, angry, or scared, as if those feelings mean you're doing life wrong. But sadness is not a failure, anger is not a sin, grief is not a lack of faith. These are normal responses to a world that is often painful and unfair. And when you suppress them, they don't disappear, they fester. They come out sideways, they turn into anxiety, depression, resentment, or numbness. Toxic positivity doesn't make you stronger, it makes you more disconnected from yourself. The problem with cynicism, on the other side, cynicism looks like wisdom. It feels sophisticated to say, I saw it coming, or people are trash, or nothing ever works out. It feels safe to expect the worst. But cynicism is not wisdom. Cynicism is a wound that never healed. It is a heart it's a heart that got hurt and decided the solution was to stop believing in anything good. It's not protection, it's resignation. The cynical person doesn't get disappointed, but they also don't get to experience wonder, trust, surprise, or genuine connection. They traded the possibility of joy for the certainty of disappointment, and that's a terrible trade. What's actually true? Life is both. It always has been. The world is beautiful and brutal. People will heal you and hurt you. Some days will feel like magic and some days will feel like punishment. You will experience love that makes you feel infinite and loss that makes you feel like nothing. And all of it is real, all of it belongs. The goal is to not pretend the bad doesn't exist. The goal is not to wallow in the bad until it becomes your identity. The goal is to hold both, to be honest about the darkness without letting it consume you, to appreciate the light without pretending the darkness isn't there. What breaking down the bullshit actually looks like. It looks like admitting that life is hard and still choosing to live it fully. It looks like acknowledging that people can hurt you and still opening your heart to the ones who show up right. It looks like knowing that things won't always work out and trying anyway. It looks like sitting with your pain instead of numbing it, but also not building a home there. It looks like being realistic about how unfair the world can be, while still being the person who brings fairness into the space you occupy. It looks like accepting that you will die someday and using that truth to make your life mean something while you're here. The middle path. The middle path is not boring, it's not gray, it's not wishy washy. It's the hardest path of all because it requires you to hold tension, to be hopeful without being naive, to be aware without being bitter, to feel everything without being destroyed by anything. The middle path says, I know the world can be cruel, and I will still choose to be kind. I know people will disappoint me, and I will still choose to trust carefully. I know nothing is guaranteed, and I will still choose to invest my heart in things that matter. That's not ignorance, that's courage. The bullshit you need to stop believing. You need to stop believing that if you're struggling, you're doing something wrong. You need to stop believing that the goal of life is to be happy all the time. You need to stop believing that your pain means you're broken. You need to stop believing that hope is for people who haven't been through enough yet. And you need to stop believing that the world is just a nasty place with nothing good in it, because that belief becomes a self fulfilling prophecy. You see what you look for. If you look for evidence that life is cruel, you will find it everywhere. And you will miss the evidence that life is also beautiful, the sunsets, the laughter, the strangers who will help you, the moments of unexpected grace. So here's the invitation. Stop pretending everything is fine, but also stop pretending everything is hopeless. Let life be what it is: complicated, messy, painful, beautiful, unpredictable, and precious. Break down the bullshit, not to become bitter, but to become real, to become someone who can look at life with clear eyes and still say, I'm going to show up for this and all of it, the good and the bad, because this is my one life, and I'm not going to waste it hiding from reality or pretending reality is something it's not. The world is not all rainbows and sunshine, but it's not just a nasty place either. It's both. And you have the strength to hold both. That's the truth, and that's enough.